You know MH is happy.
Yeah, we're 60 seconds late. MH always loves that.
Loves that.
All right. You hear our voices, guys. I need everybody in the chat to do me a favor. Stand up, New York Giant fans. What is going on, Bad Dog?
Well, as I said to you off stream, man, same shovel, deeper pile. That's just how it goes every day. But things are good, man. Things are good.
Things are good, man. I hope everybody in the chat's good. I see Chris Leone's here, Stealth Raven's here, Rafael DeLuna's here, Diehard Giant Fan, Andy Garcia, TD, Goat Quan, Cushmaster, Word, Dustin, Justin, Roman, Leo Castillo, Lamel Sinclair, Andy Garcia, Riot Clan, Stealth Raven, Adam, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people. Dustin, Meat, NYG, Frank. Thank you to everybody for being here. I do appreciate it. Gregory in the house. Thank you. Travis Conklin, Cody. We are packed, Bad Dog. We are packed tonight.
Packed. And I hope Cushmaster will consider subscribing to both of us before it's over.
So we got a lot to talk about. There's obviously been a lot of coaching hires, outside of the head coach. They brought in Patrick Graham, the defensive coordinator. They bring in a new quarterbacks coach, formerly of the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, they brought him over there last year. And we've got a spanking to talk about, along with potential free agent pickups. The draft's on its way, and I'm sure we could talk a little bit about the playoffs as well, if we delve into that. And as always, we'll take some questions at the end of the show. But Bad Dog, where do you want to start?
Well, I'll start with this. Just so you guys know, I have not done many playoff games, but Chris and I are streaming the AFC and NFC Championship games together. We'll do one game on each channel. So that should be fun. Looking forward to that because I haven't streamed a lot of football, since. Just been busy on the weekends, but I can't wait to do that. So that'll be fun. I figured I'd do the AFC game because Andy Reid's there, and I figured you'd do the NFC game because you got the Packers going to the Super Bowl, and you're a big Aaron Rodgers guy.
That works. So AFC will be with Bad Dog, NFC will be over here. That works. And Xavier, thanks for the love, man. $2 super chat. You can't forget about it. He says Houston asterisk equals garbage. Of course, he's talking about baseball there, and I'll have a video up on that tomorrow. I didn't have time today. I was out, but I'll have
a video on that as well because 3 years in a row, my Yankees got screwed. So, yeah, I'll have a video on that for sure.
Yeah, and obviously the Mets moved on from Carlos Beltran, and we are without a manager right now.
The Mets continue to be the Mets, Chris.
It's bad luck, though. There's no way they could have known that, but they let it drag on way too long, though.
Yeah.
They let it drag on way too long. But, where do you want to start here, Bad Dog? You want to start with the coach staff? You want to start with spankings? Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the coaching staff. Why not? Let's go with the
All right. I saw your video on Patrick Graham, the former defensive coordinator on the Miami Dolphins, and you didn't seem to be the biggest fan of the move.
Well, I didn't understand the move, and I know a lot of people are saying, well, they have no talent. I get that. I mentioned that in the video. Oh, they played really hard at the end of the year. They gave up 95 points in the last 3 games. I didn't see, it was just like the Joe Judge thing. I just kind of was in shock. I wasn't mad at it. I don't really know much about him. I can't say I've known a lot about him before we hired him. I looked some stuff up, and I was like, it's kind of an interesting hire. But again, I don't really know too much about him. I know he has a bunch of different schemes that he runs, and I know this and that. And I know the Dolphins didn't have the most talent. They traded away Minkah Fitzpatrick. They were tank. I get that. But at the same time, they gave up almost 500 points. And I'm just like, is this really an improvement over James Betcher? I guess we'll find out. But I didn't understand it. I thought we'd go with somebody with a little bit more experience as a defensive coordinator. And I thought we'd go with somebody with a little better track record. But again, you never know. I mean, maybe he works really well with Joe Judge. Maybe they come up with an integral game plan together and it works. We're just going to have to find out. This is all hearsay and everything else. We're just kind of, talking about what they have done, not what they will do. So we'll have to find out. If he can get the best out of these players, we have talent. And if he comes up with the right schemes, this could work. I was confused by the hire.
I completely get it. I don't think you were alone on that. I think a lot of Giants fans, and rightfully so, were confused with the hire. And thank you so much, King Trizzy, for the $2 super chat. You can forget about it. He says, stand up. What's up, guys? How's life been? It's been going, man. We've been working on YouTube talking about the Giants and the Booty Man, of course, with the $2 super chat. He says, Chris, the Pro Bowl is less than 2 weeks, and I will be doing a hangout for you, Detonator, because for some reason he's obsessed with the Pro Bowl, so I promised him I would do it. But thank you so much for the love, guys. I really do appreciate it. But I completely get that. The first thing I said in my video, if I'm being completely fair, when they hired Joe Judge, first thing I said, I think they need to get experienced guys on both the offense and the defense. And of course, we're going to talk about Jason Garrett, who seems like he might be might be the favorite to get the OC position. But I completely get that. People questioning that move. But the other thing I said was this guy's going to want familiarity. Joe Judge. He's going to want to work with guys he's worked with before. He has a history with Patrick Graham, and Patrick Graham's philosophy is to be unpredictable, much like what Joe Judge has spoke on. He wants to be in the 3-4, the 4-3, the 6-4, 4-6 rather. So he's all over the place. And Chip Kelly, thanks for the love, man. $5 super chat. Benson, he says, Chris with the slick back, Morse ready to paint some houses. What's up, Chris and the Baddog? Hope all is well, fellas. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'll be painting some houses in the next couple of weeks, Chip. I really do appreciate that. So I can't say I like the hire. Kind of what you said. It's kind of the same thing with Joe Judge, where I'm going to get behind the hire. I see that there's potential, and we got to hope for the best. We don't know what we have yet. That's it. It's unproven.
Yep.
And that's the whole coaching staff for the most part. Jason Garrett is an interesting one. It seems like Giants fans are split on this one. And I completely get it. Dallas Cowboys head coach had a really bad history there. And a lot of my subscribers, when I made a video on it, pointed to Tony Romo's success, and they said that has a lot to do with Sean Payton. Because Sean Payton was there in 2004, 2005, but he never threw a football with Sean Payton there.
Incorrect. I would love Jason Garrett as our offensive coordinator, and that's no lie. I had somebody say the same thing, that Parcells and Payton developed him. 2006, Tony Romo threw 19 touchdowns, 13 picks. Enter Jason Garrett in 2007. He threw 36 touchdowns, and they were 13-3, the best team in the NFC, until we went in there and beat them. And let's face it, we beat them because of great defense, because of running the ball, but we also beat them because Patrick Creighton dropped a surefire touchdown on a 3rd and 7 slant that Romo hit him right in the hands. That I'll never forget. Right. And that wasn't Romo's fault. So he became a star with Jason Garrett. And we say it all the time, just because you're a good coordinator don't make you a good head coach. And as much Jason Garrett's not a good head coach. But again, Jerry Jones has a lot to do with this. And nobody's been a good head coach there since Jimmy Johnson left. Right. So you can't put it all on Jason Garrett. And I'd be thrilled to have him here helping Daniel Jones. I think that would be a really good hire, because then you do have an experienced guy who's coached at the highest level in the NFL and has played, has coached really good quarterbacks. So I would love to see it. I would love him to be here. It's the truth. I think that'd be a good move for the Giants. And no joking. There's no joking there. I do think that'd be good for us.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Alejandro, for the fist bump. I really appreciate that. Great subscriber, both of ours, man. Thanks for the love, man. And I just want to make sure I didn't, because it skips on me when I do that. Xavier Carroll. Did I see Xavier Carroll? Was there another one I missed? Xavier, thanks for the love, man. $2 super chat. He says, keep Jason Garrett far away from this organization. So he is not a fan of Jason Garrett. And I get it. There's a lot of people that are, and I completely understand it. And trust me, as a head coach, I wanted nothing to do with Jason Garrett. But when you look at his resume, and it's not just the quarterback position, that Dallas Cowboys offense in 2007 was the second best offense in all of football, behind the Patriots, who had arguably the greatest offense in the history of football in a single season that year.
Truth.
And that Dallas Cowboys offense was well balanced. He actually has I did a little research on it in case they hire him. I want to make sure, I was ready for a video. He runs the Air Coryell system. That's what Jason Garrett does. He has little tinkers to it, but that's the base of his offense, which of course was famous by the San Diego Chargers. And obviously the tight end has thrives in that system. A lot of out routes with the wide receivers, and it focuses on runs up the middle. That's basically what I gathered from a lot of the articles I read. Obviously I know it's famous with Dan Fouts, and that's what he would bring to the New York Giants if he were to come on here as the head coach. But you can't argue. You can't debate it. Tony Romo, yes. I mean, I guess you could say Tony Romo might have been tutored by Sean Payton and tutored by Bill Parcells. But at the end of the day, the guy that was his offensive coordinator when he took off was Jason Garrett. You're spot on with that. And Joe, man, thanks for letting me $5 super chat. Benzini says, for some reason, I'm trusting Joe Judge. I have much optimism, but then what do I know? I'm also a Knicks and Nets fan. You and me both, Joe. What do I know? I root for the same teams you do. And Cool Phil is the man, dude. Great subscriber of mine, man. Thanks for the super stick. I really appreciate that. But I think Cool Phil, if I'm not mistaken, used to make some videos, he told me. And he's a big Giants fan. So thank you for the love, man. I really appreciate that, guys. And Bobby's in that, by the way. Everybody in the chat.
Bobby!
Everybody in the chat. Let's get it over with. Hey, Bobby! Bobo!
Bobby! Hey, Bobby! All right, Bobby.
What's going on? What's going on, Mike Miranda? Thank you for tuning in the stream. Ian Jones in the house. But yeah, man. So I would not be upset at all with the Jason Garrett hire. Are there any other names out there that are available potential offensive coordinators that you'd be interested in outside of Garrett?
Jay Gruden. for the simple fact he wanted Daniel Jones. And again, this is another guy I think is a good offensive coordinator that just does not. That situation in Washington is a mess, and it's been a mess for the better part of 30 years. I think the Washington Redskins have won 10 games, 3 seasons since 1991. I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's 4, but it hasn't been much. They have been bad forever. Daniel Snyder is a terrible owner, and that was a disaster. People can say Daniel Jones would have been there at 17, would have been there in the second round. It's BS. Jay Gruden wanted Daniel Jones on the team. That's why he got fired. Not to mention they're bad, but he disagreed with ownership. He wanted Daniel Jones. So I'd be fine with Jay Gruden coming in here, working with Daniel Jones. Freddie Kitchens is another one. Worked with Joe Judge down there at Ole Miss or Mississippi State.
Mississippi State, yeah.
So they worked together in college. And again, this is a guy that just wasn't ready to take on the egos in that Cleveland locker room as a head coach. But you look at what he did with Baker Mayfield, his rookie season as an offensive coordinator, and I equate that to what Ben McAdoo did with Eli Manning. Eli Manning had 2 of his best statistical seasons in his history with McAdoo as the offensive coordinator, including a career 35 touchdowns in 2015. And then he became the head coach, and Eli Manning kind of fell off.
Right.
McAdoo was not a head coach.
Right.
So Freddie Kitchens, again, may have failed as a head coach, but that's a guy who I actually think is the favorite to come in here and do this. I do think that would be their guy. But those are 3 guys that are like Garrett, Kitchens, or Gruden. I'd be happy with any one of those 3 guys.
And I got another – I just want to get the super chat. I got another thing I was thinking about today in terms of the offensive coordinator. Christopher, thanks so much for the $2 super chat. You can't forget about it. He says Jason Garrett could be a good OC. He's been a good OC, so I agree he could be a good OC. Not saying he will be, but he definitely could be, and I certainly understand the hire, especially with his experience, being that our most important player right now in terms of maturation is Daniel Jones. You do not want to screw him up year 1 to year 2. You want a guy with proven success as a quarterback. But one guy I was thinking about, because I'm thinking about it like this. They already have the quarterback coach, which is a little weird to me, and some of my subscribers have pointed this out, that usually you would wait until you had the offensive coordinator to appoint the quarterback coach, right? Because you would think he'd want some say in that. That's a little weird to me. I agree with my subscribers on that. But I'm thinking, why are they waiting so long? And then I'm like, who's left in the playoffs right now? Is it possible that they're thinking about Eric Bieniemy? Because it would be an upgrade for him. He doesn't call the plays in Kansas City. Do you think that's possible?
It's definitely possible. And again, that's a thing. It's hard to say with Bieniemy. I don't know what we're going to get with Bieniemy. And again, he doesn't call the plays, but that's Patrick Mahomes, man. That's Patrick Mahomes. That's Tyreek Hill. That's a totally different talent-wise. That offense is superior to what the Giants have. And I love Daniel Jones, but he's not Pat Mahomes.
No,
nobody
is.
Tyreek Hill. And that's the thing. So it wouldn't surprise me. I was upset that he missed out on Joe Brady. I wanted Joe Brady. It's funny, the Carolina Panthers ended up with the coaching staff I wanted for the Giants. They ended up with Rule and Joe Brady. Those are the guys.
Yeah, they got a really potentially a really good coaching staff over there.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and they paid for it. And Frank, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He said, should we trade down and acquire more picks? All right, we'll talk about that real quick, and then I'll get to the other super chat. Should we trade down and acquire more picks for the right price? Absolutely. Baddog and myself say this all the time. There are a ton of holes on this football team. If you could trade down from 4 to 6 with the Chargers, get a couple of seconds, like the Jets did when they moved up to get a quarterback, they give up 3 seconds, say you get 2 seconds at a third, something like that. If you get a package like that, and you could still get an offensive lineman there, or you could still get an Isaiah Simmons, who I think every Giant fan loves right now, you're going to be able to get one of those guys there, because you figure if the Chargers move up from 6 to 4, they're taking a quarterback. And then you figure the Dolphins might very well take a quarterback. You're probably still getting your guy.
Yeah. Though they both want quarterbacks. It just depends on who wants Tua and who wants Herbert. That's the thing. Tua coming out of the draft helped the Giants a lot.
Yeah.
And then you never know. I mean, the Raiders could jump up there and give the Giants a world for that because they have a lot of first-round picks themselves. Or the Giants could trade back with the Los Angeles Chargers. I said it right. Los Angeles Chargers. And then they could flip the pick and maybe trade all the way back to Los Angeles Raiders or the Vegas Raiders, whatever the hell they're called next year. So,
yeah, I think Vegas. Is it next year? It's next year.
You could continue to accumulate picks, and you could still probably get a solid lineman or a solid linebacker. It just depends on what we're offered. If Isaiah Simmons is there at 4, though, I wouldn't trade. I'd trade back to 6 because he's going to be there at 6. I wouldn't go any farther. You can't miss Isaiah Simmons. We need that guy that covers a tight end. When's the last time you had linebacker cover tight end?
We haven't.
When I played tight end in the NFL, I could run through our damn defense and catch 8 passes myself. Before I probably put the hamstring and said, "Oh man, that doesn't feel good."
And cool film, man. Thanks for the love, man. $2 super chat. You can forget about it. He says Tom Coughlin could be great for the offense again. Listen, man, I love Tom Coughlin. A lot of people brought this up. Matter of fact, one of our best subscribers says it all the time. I love him, but I don't think he is. He's how old is he now, Baddog? 70?
73, 70. He's in his 70s.
Yeah, and he's great. I love him, but I think his days are. I don't see them bringing him in as a head coach. I love him, but I think his days are past. But who knows? But I doubt it. But
never know.
You never know. And CJ, man, thanks for letting me. $5 super chat. Benzanese says, "I am back from the dead." Bad Dog has a baby face right now. CJ,
I shaved right before the stream. Shaved and showered. Had to get ready. I saw Chris's video earlier. We'll get into the Beckham thing, but I saw Chris's video earlier, and I said, "Man, look at this guy." By the way, Chris, I wanted to ask you: did you take care of that thing I asked you to take care of before or after the video?
I sweat, and let me get this, and I'll talk on that real quick in a second. Nick Young, thanks for the love. $2 super chat. You can't forget about it. Did you hear the Panthers interview Ben McAdoo? I did not hear that, but I'm not surprised. He was a good offensive coordinator. Just like Jason Garrett's a good offensive coordinator. And Steven Evans, I could never be mad at you, Steven. Why would I be mad at you? Because you disagree with something I said in a video? No. I love when people disagree. That's what my channel's about. I don't want you guys to always agree with me. It'd be boring if you always agree.
Hell yeah.
Part of the most fun thing about a sports channel is when you can debate respectfully.
You're always going to debate.
Yeah.
We're Giants fans. The one thing that we'll agree on is we want what's best for the Giants, but that doesn't always mean we're going to agree on what we think is best for the Giants.
Yeah, man. As long as you do it respectfully and you don't say something, disrespectful, I'm always up for debating sports topics.
Of course.
And Chris Leon loves Tom Coughlin. Thank you so much for the love. He said. He says $2 super chat. He says, "Did somebody say Tom Coughlin?" Chris Leon's the best, man. Thank you for being here, buddy. But yeah, no, I love that son of a bitch. Are you kidding me? I would never be mad at him. I can't be mad.
How do you not? How can you not love that son of a bitch? He's a son of a bitch.
All right, let's get into the Beckham talk. Made a video on this today, and all right, let's go over Beckham's history with the Giants and why the Giants traded him. Okay, the boat trip, the cocaine incident, going to the meet on Eli Manning, right? All that stuff, the distractions off the field, the distractions on the field, the Josh Norman incident. The
field goal net,
this, that, the other thing. Then they get rid of him. Now he's with the Browns. Then he has his people say he wants a trade. Okay? In my opinion, even at that point, his trade value is already even lower than it was when we traded him with the New York Giants. Now, I'm not even going to get into the spanking thing yet. At the national championship game, first off, I didn't even make a video on this. I mentioned in the video today. He's paying the players.
Paid the players.
And you cannot tell me he didn't do that intentionally in front of the cameras. Because if he was this giving guy, he could have said, "All right, I'll wait till I get in the locker room. I'll give him an envelope." This guy's he's flashing $100 bills in front of all the ESPN cameras, and he's handing it to all the players. It's all for attention. That's the way he's always been. And then of course the whole spanking. And I'm not gonna say he should be arrested for that. I know there's a warrant out for his arrest. I think that's a little bit over the top, but. This guy's a paid professional. He's 27 years old. You can't be doing that, Bad Dog. You can't be doing that.
Number one, if you're going to spank a security guard, it should be a female, and she should be hot. Don't spank a man if you're a man. What the hell is wrong with this guy? Listen, I say this all the time because I've mentioned this I don't know how many times. I wanted him traded in September of 2017, and people destroyed me for that. But I knew he wasn't good for this team. And it just, you don't pay a receiver all that money when your team is bad, and he just never got it. A world of talent, and he got so big so fast, it went to his head. He was a totally different guy at LSU. He was not like this.
Right.
That freaking stupid catch, and that was it. And then everything went to his head. Everything, including his sponsorship, because he had a Head and Shoulders commercial. Remember that?
Yeah.
But yeah, he got really big, really fast, and you're in New York, and everybody loves you. Fans loved him. He's very popular player with good reason. He's extremely talented, but man, that guy's not right between the ears, and he distracts. He's just a distraction. It's terrible. It's just. I'm so glad we got rid of him. I wanted him gone for a long time, and Now I said that I thought he would come back, and now I don't. I don't think he'll ever come back. And that kind of stuff. It's one thing to kick the field goal, and it's one thing to get in a fight on the field. It's another thing to be doing crap like this off the field. I don't think that he's coming back.
Yeah, and what is he even doing partying in the what is it? This guy's 27 years old. He's partying with 18, 19, 20-year-olds in the locker room for a team he doesn't even play for. I don't get it. And Trey, man, thanks for love. $5 Super Chat, Benzanese. He says, the first thing I hear when I get in here is Tom Coughlin. Is there a rumor or something? There are no rumors. We just have a lot of subscribers that love Tom Coughlin. Obviously, Tom Coughlin got fired by the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's a very good offensive mind, and that's the thought process there. There's no rumors, though, Trey.
Yeah, hey, listen, man. Like I said, Coughlin was great for this team, and everyone's gonna love him. Coaches win Super Bowls, man. You can love him, just like I love Parcells. I'll always love Bill Parcells. I'll always love Bill Belichick. Always. They meant the world to me growing up, and obviously Tom Coughlin's gonna mean the world to me going forward. Why wouldn't he?
Tom Coughlin's one of my favorite people ever. I love Tom Coughlin. And misleading story with the $10 Super Chat. Stand up. Just want to say I've been watching for about a year now and almost never miss a video. Love the hard work, fellas. Keep up the grind. My favorite channels on YouTube. Thank you so much, Misleading Star. I really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's because of people like you that we work as hard as we do. The appreciation you guys show us when you comment on our videos, you tell us great job. Means a lot to us. You guys more than you know. When you guys leave me a really nice comment about a video and you tell me, you really appreciated what I did in the video and things like that, that means a lot to me. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I'm sure it means a lot to Bad Dog as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
We wouldn't do this if it wasn't for you guys. We say it all the time.
Yeah.
We wouldn't do this. You guys have made this show really big, really fun, and I always go back to like our first show. There's like nobody watching, but it grew over time, and that's because of you guys. You guys are here all the time. You continue to support us even though this team's bad, and I say it every show. Wait till we're good. Wait till we're good, and it's coming, guys. It is. It's coming sooner than you think.
Thank you. Once again, thank you to everybody for being here. And Richie Rich, thanks for the love. $2 Super Chat you can forget about. He says, the OBJ trade was a masterpiece. And I'll tell you what, Richie Rich, I was on board with the trade when they made it. I was a little shocked the day they made it just because I didn't, Odell Beckham, but I thought it was a good trade to begin with the cap space, everything else. I've always said I don't believe in paying a wide receiver that kind of money. And then in season, when when that started coming out with the Browns, I thought it was an even better trade, especially seeing how poorly Beckham and the Browns played this year. And now it looks even better. So, Dave, we're looking good with that trade. And Brandon, thanks for the love, man. $5 Super Chat. Ben's and Easy says, sucks. I will miss the AFC and NFC championships. I'm going on a date to see Phantom of the Opera. Let's see how it goes. I've seen Phantom of the Opera, Brandon. It's very good. But I'd probably prefer football.
Depends on what the girl looks like.
Yeah, it's true.
Be honest.
Maybe she's worth it, Brandon. I don't know.
Be honest. Let's be honest.
Thank you, Brandon, for love. I really appreciate that, and I want to make sure I didn't miss I think I got one more. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Jason Young said, you guys hear about the Astros cheating thing? As I said, I plan on doing a video tonight when I got home from the gym, but my wife was using the computer, so I couldn't do it. I'm actually going to use the green screen. When we're done with this, I'll record it and upload it tomorrow, but I definitely got something to say about that.
Yeah, and obviously
to my Yankees 3 years in a row now.
And obviously, I'm going to make a video talking about Carlos Beltran. Carlos Beltran's been fired by the Mets because of the cheating. I was just very busy today. I had a lot of things going on, and I want to make sure.
He was painting houses for me, guys.
I was painting houses for Bad Dog. But I want to make sure I have all the details and before I make the video. But it'll be out at some point tomorrow. So thank you for the love, man. I really appreciate that. And CJ Snyder with a $5 Super Chat, Benson. He says, OGR hasn't changed his name to Orange Shirt Rebuttal. That's right. OGR was on the channel during the playoff games last week, and he was wearing an orange shirt, and they were saying he should change his name to Orange Shirt Rebuttal.
Nice.
Yeah, but
nice.
Yeah, I appreciate the love, guys. Thank you very much. So we touched on we touched on the coaching staff. The other thing I want to talk about, he has kept on. They haven't brought in an offensive line coach, and a lot of people are talking about some of the guys they should bring on there. We'll see how that goes. They haven't brought on an offensive line coach. They haven't brought on a linebackers coach, and they haven't brought on a DBs coach.
I have heard the name Antonio Pierce.
Yes, I made a video on that. Yeah.
For the Giants. I gotta be honest. I don't know how good he would be as a coach. A guy I would love. I don't know where he is. Maybe you guys can tell me, because again, I don't know where all these coaches are, what teams are on. Mike Singletary, man. I don't understand. They had a chance to bring him in here years ago and they didn't. Mike Singletary. if that guy's out there, bring him the hell in here as a linebackers coach. I love Mike Singletary.
Oh, I think everybody loves Mike Singletary.
I mean, bring him in here if he's available. Get that guy in here as a linebackers coach. Again, this is a guy with a lot of experience, a guy that was a head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, and a guy that, played on one of the greatest teams ever, and the guy was a hell of a player. He's a hell of a coach, and I love Mike Singletary. I mean, that's a guy I would love to bring him in here as a linebacker. Or, I don't know if Carl Banks is out there. This is another guy, man. If Carl Banks was ever interested in a position like that, well, I don't think Carl Banks ever coached. But Mike Singletary, man, bring him in the hell in here. At least to interview the guy.
Yeah. I'd be completely for it. A lot of people say Pepper Johnson. Bill Callahan, by the way, is the offensive line coach that a lot of New York Giants fans want.
Yes, I've heard that.
Known as one of the better offensive line. And Chris Richard, from what I've read, I could be wrong. I think the Cowboys are moving on from him. Could be a DB coach. Could be a guy you look at as a DB coach.
It'd be great for us.
Yeah.
We need because the Cowboys secondary improved vastly with him there, and we have a very young secondary. I'd be all for bringing in Chris Richard as a secondary coach, without a doubt.
And he's got a connection to Garrett.
Yep.
So if you bring Garrett as the OC, maybe he does come. So some interesting names there to be potentially looking at. Carl Banks is good, but not energetic. They want energy. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Singletary would be good. I would not mind Antonio Pierce. I did some research on him. He's been coaching for ASU for 3 years with Herm Edwards, and they said he's done a hell of a job there. And it's not just the Giants. There are a lot of teams interested in him. The Kansas City Chiefs offered him a job as their linebackers coach last year, and he turned it down. So there are some teams that are looking at him, and I think he is a possibility. We'll see how if it does happen. But those are some of the coaching openings. They stayed with the wide receiver coach, and they stayed with the special teams coach, which was a huge compliment.
Yeah.
That's a huge compliment, though, because Joe Judge was a coach of both of those.
Well, he loves our special teams. Our special teams is way better this year than it's been in the past.
Yeah.
Way better.
We said it every week.
Cody Core, all the time, man.
Yeah, the special teams always stood out week in, week out, except for, of course, our field goal kicker. Who even got better at the end, and a lot of people actually blamed Diassi for that, which is why they cut Diassi at the end. They said he was doing a poor job with the snapping.
Very well could.
Yeah, so we'll see. And Rudy Pat, thanks for the love, man. $2 super chat. You can't forget about it. He says, bring Pierce or Pepper Johnson for Simmons. We'll see if we get Simmons. But either way, we need a linebackers coach, and I would not be opposed to either one of those names. Why not? Absolutely. And GQ Boys, thanks for the love, man. $5 super chat, Benzanese. He says, can we keep David Tyree on the staff? He is our good luck charm. He was also there for our last Super Bowl. He is our good luck charm. And I don't remember. He is on the. I think he's on the. He's still on the. He's on the staff. I don't remember his exact job title, but he is on the staff. I remember reading that. I don't remember what his job title is. David Tyree, though.
I met him a couple times. He's a really nice guy.
Class act.
Yeah, God, I miss the Giants up here, man.
Yeah.
Missed them training up here.
What's up, Angel Lopez? Thanks for popping in. Oh, John Smith, man, thanks for loving, man. I really appreciate that. $10 super chat. Stand up. Giants tweeted a poll today of who to draft between Simmons and Jedrick Willis. Last year, they did the same, and one option was DJ plus Dexter Lawrence. Funny to think they pretty much told us who they were going to draft. Huh. That's pretty interesting. That's interesting. Because Dexter Lawrence was never on my radar for the Giants with the 17th pick.
Not with 17, but he was a guy that I wanted.
Yeah, I liked him.
That a lot. Yep. I thought that was a little early for him, but obviously it wasn't. I loved it.
I don't even know if it was early for him. I just didn't think it would be a position they would take there because B.J. Hill looked strong in his rookie year. I didn't think D tackle was their biggest need, so that's why I was a little surprised with the pick. I'm obviously happy they did it. To be honest, on draft night I wanted Montez Sweat at 17. Sense. Yeah, but obviously it worked out. But that is interesting, and we'll see how it works out, man. Thanks for that, man. I really appreciate that. Garrett will be the OC offensive clapper. I like that. But the one thing I'll say about Garrett, man, even when he was the OC, Marion Barber ran the ball a lot. They stayed committed to the run. They had a good balance. In 07, they had a really good offense. And like you said, they did a great job. I think it was either 08 or 09 they took a dip, but it was because Romo got hurt. But
it was 08. It was 08.
08, yeah.
Ed Johnson was a quarterback for a few games there.
Yeah. But the reason that Garrett got the head coaching job was because of how the offense performed under his tutelage, and he brought a new system there. Like I said, the Eric Coryell from the San Diego Chargers. That's the system he runs, and it worked out. That's why he got the job, and he obviously has some kind of history with quarterbacks. You see Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was a 4th-round pick. He did pretty well, under Jason Garrett.
Yeah, for a 4th-round pick, absolutely.
Yeah, so, for a guy with limited talent, in my opinion.
When they're talking about, when they're comparing him to Carson Wentz is a 2nd overall pick in the draft. I mean, you got to give Dak some credit. I hate him, but I mean, you got to give the guy some credit. You got to give Jason Garrett some credit. I mean, you develop a 4th-round pick, and he's being compared to the 2nd overall pick. It's pretty amazing.
Well, by the way, we didn't talk about this. What did you think about, even though it's a former Giant, what did you think about Pat Shurmur going to Denver? How do you think that'll work out?
I think that's great. I think that's a really good move for Denver. I think Drew Lock could definitely be good with Pat Shurmur. I think Pat Shurmur is good at developing young quarterbacks. I think Drew Lock is better off with Pat Shurmur. I would have been fine with Pat Shurmur staying. I mean, obviously, you can't do that. But if he would have been an offensive coordinator, I would have been fine with that. He just a guy that's not a good head coach, just not a head coach material. But coordinator, he's very good. I think it's a good move for Denver. I think that Drew Lock can definitely benefit having him there.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And Ryan Clay, thanks for letting me. $2 super chat. You can forget about it. He says, "What's up, boys? What's going on, Ryan Clay? Great subscriber, mine. Thank you for being here,
Ryan.
Great subscriber. Thank you for being here, buddy. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think that it was a really good pickup by the Denver Broncos. And like I said in my video with Pat Shurmur, I never had any ill will towards the guy. Really nice guy. Not a good head coach, but I wish him nothing but the best. I'm glad he ended up in Denver because I do think he's one of the better minds when it comes to molding quarterbacks. And he was initially rumored to be going to Washington. I'm glad because I don't want Dwayne Haskins getting more help. So I'm glad that Shurmur ended up with Denver.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah, and I think Drew Lock will do well. What's going on, Nikki? Thanks for popping into the stream. And is that Chris? What do you mean? Is that? Yeah, it's Chris, Big Blue Elo. What do you mean? Thank you guys for being here. If you haven't done so, please hit that thumbs up. By the way, I have not said it yet. Go into that description. We do this show every week. If you guys are new to my channel or you guys are just popping in the stream, next week we will be doing it on Bad Dog's channel. And yeah, we'll be, obviously covering the draft as it gets closer, free agency, this, that, the other thing. Yeah, and we'll also be talking probably the Super Bowl next week a little bit, being that, we'll know the opponents and all that. But thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it. He's got a great channel. We love doing this for you guys. And yeah, it's 11:03. We'll take some questions, guys, and we'll feed off of you guys. We always like to get your guys' questions. We talked a bit about the coach staff, talked about Beckham. If you guys want to ask us any questions on free agency, I did some videos on that. Obviously, we know the rumors that came out. What did you think of that? We didn't touch on that real quick with Ngakoue. What did you think with Yannick posting all these pictures on social media? 3, 4, 5 pictures.
As I said, there's a lot of Lawrence Taylor fans. There's a lot of guys that strive to be Lawrence Taylor. He is greatness personified. He's the greatest defensive player ever. I don't read too much into it, but please bring him over here. Please bring Ngakoue and draft Simmons. Oh, my God. Can you imagine the improvement in the defense? Can we do that just one time? Just bring Ngakoue over here. I mean, and then draft Isaiah Simmons. Then you got your pass rusher and you got your linebacker that can actually cover. Yeah. Money backer. He can play some safe. That kid's skill set is unreal. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah, no, Isaiah Simmons, he could play everything.
He's going to be there. Unless the Lions take him at 3, but I don't think they're going linebacker. I think that they, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Chris, you never know.
You don't know.
You never know on draft night.
We took Daniel Jones. We never thought that would happen. And King26 Reyes, thanks for the love. $5 super chat, bends the knee. He says, do you think the Jags tag Yannick and try to trade him? And if so, would you trade for him? I don't know the rules behind that. I'd have to look further into that, King26, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know if there's a rule in terms of you can't trade someone if they tag him. I have no idea.
I'm not sure either, but I didn't think they were going to tag him.
We'll see. I will say the Jaguars have been on record of saying that their number one priority is to keep Yannick. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, Bad Dog. We'll have to wait and see, but Yannick is certainly hinting at least. Now, some of this, I will say, could be money-driven. He could be like, I want to get New York involved. I want to get the fans excited, drive up the price. He's not smart to do that. He's not stupid. He's not business. Yeah, he's not dumb. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. And I just want to get a couple of super chats. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it, man. Misleading story, man. Thanks again for the love, man. $10 super chat. Stand up. He says, my big board is basically Burrow, Young, Okuda, Simmons for the top 4. I'd say either draft best available out of them or trade down. Trading down to 6 would still leave a lot of good picks available. Andrew Thomas is another guy that I think is in that mix, depending on what the Giants do.
Tristan Wirfs,
another offensive.
Willis, yeah. And I agree. I agree with Missling Story. I think that is a top 4. But I think we could trade down to 6 and still get Isaiah Simmons. I don't think Miami or Los Angeles, and I did it right again. It's Los Angeles. I don't think that they're going to. I think they're both going quarterback.
I think it's possible, depending on how they feel about the quarterbacks. If the Chargers were to jump Miami, it's possible Miami does not take a quarterback. I think it's possible. But even if that's the case, they still might not.
But then our 6th pick becomes even more valuable because there is a quarterback there, and then the Raiders can jump up and give us a ton of picks for that.
Yeah.
I mean, because they'd have to jump up to 6. They'd jump up to 6, and they would get either Herbert or Tua if Miami decided to pass them. So,
or you could just take Andrew Thomas there at 6, and you got assets.
You could do that as well.
Yeah,
or for any of the linemen.
Yeah,
whoever.
Dealer's choice. Jason Young, man, thanks for that, man. I really appreciate that. $5 super chat. Bends the knees. He says Simmons is nice, but we really need help on that O-line. The free agency doesn't have any real O-line talent. Got to get Thomas or Will. I completely get that mindset, Jason Young. I think offensive line is vitally important, especially when you have a young quarterback like Daniel Jones. I'm not going to be upset if they take an offensive lineman at 4.
Me neither.
And they could
That's
go
why I did
Conklin.
the video. That's why I did that video, because it's a great question.
Yeah.
And I just put Andrew Thomas in there because I feel like he's the best left tackle in the country. But you could have put Wirfs, you could have put Willis in there. I guess my point was, do you want the
best available tackle,
or do you want the solid left tackle? And that was really the video. But it's a great question. We need them both so badly. So we'll see what happens.
You can't go wrong with either one. And thank you again for the love. Just want to make sure. I think I got a couple more. I don't want to miss them here.
You got our Genis Lugardo.
Okay, Argenis Lugardo's the next one. I see it. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. Argenis for the love, man. $5 super chat. Benson, he says, "Sup, fellas? By the way, I want to thank Bad Diggity for changing my mind on OBJ. I was once a lost OBJ follower, and now I'm like, screw this ballerina."
I got you, buddy. Don't worry about it, Argenis. I got you, man.
Yeah. Listen, man. At the end of the day, to me, Odell Beckham he's not a team player. You know, I don't. Some people call me an Odell Beckham hater. I try to be fair. I'm not going to tell you. I don't lie. I come on here, and I always say, if you don't agree with my opinion, that's great. Let me hear yours. Let's just be respectful about it. I was never a big Odell Beckham fan. That's just the truth. But it has. I don't deny his talent. He's a phenomenal talent. I just don't think he's a team player. I never have, and I think he's a distraction off the field. That's what I always worried about. That's just my opinion, though.
Completely agree.
And
That's why I wanted him gone 3 years ago.
Yeah, and John Schmidt, thank you for the love, man. $5 super chat, Ben's best part about Simmons' versatility is when he lined up as a cornerback, it was in the slot, which is by far our biggest secondary hole. Yep, and I was shocked, by the way. I found an article where Pro Football Focus, even though they're not the best source, but they broke down where his snaps were on the year. Some, slot, outside corner, safety, outside linebacker, middle. He at 4 of the 5 positions, he had over 100 snaps.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
The guy's extremely versatile.
Yeah, incredible.
We could use him.
Yeah, for sure. And David Bigelow, man, thanks for the love, man. $5 super chat, Benson. He says, OBJ, how is that trade looking now? One of the most underrated attributes for a GM is to know when to get rid of someone besides who to bring in. Dave Gettleman is looking pretty smart right now, and especially for that Daniel Jones pick as well. Can't really get on him for that either. Dave Gettleman had a pretty good offseason outside of the Leonard Williams trade. I think you can get him on him for that.
Yep.
But outside of that, I think he had a pretty damn good offseason.
Yeah.
And the Gorn with a $2 super chat. He says, Jason and Brill are from New Jersey. They love gabagool. All right there, Gorn. He always comes at me with the gabagool super chats. I appreciate that, Gorn. Thanks for the love, man. And once again, thank you guys, everybody, for being here. I really do appreciate it. And did I miss one? Oh, yeah, Angel Duran, and I think... Oh, Andy Reid gave me one, too. Let me just make sure I get that. Andy Reid with a $2 super chat. He says, I just want cookies and donuts.
Yeah, I'll be streaming your game Sunday, Andy.
Yeah, he was hitting me with the cookies and donuts super chats last time. And Angel Duran, thanks for the love, man. He says, the draft is deep with tackles this year. It's deep with tackles, and it's deep with wide receivers. It's a very rich wide receiver draft. So I do think the Giants, that's a position that I think the Giants will take, Bad Dog, but later in the draft, round 4, round 5, somewhere in there. But it's a very deep wide receiver draft along with tackle. You're right. And they could certainly get a tackle in the second round, much like they did with the Will Hernandez.
We'll see what we do with our picks. But if we trade back and get an extra second round pick or something, man, I don't know if T. Higgins will. T. Higgins will. We'll see what. Again, the combine has so much to do with these receivers. But if T. Higgins falls into the second round, I love him, man. He's tall, he's fast, He's athletic. You could use a T. Higgins over here. I mean, if you watch him in that championship game, the kid played great. He's good, man. T. Higgins is really an underrated guy. You're hearing about Jerry Jeudy. You're hearing about Henry Ruggs. You're hearing about CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's my guy, but you
love those Oklahoma Sooners.
The guy definitely. If he falls farther down the board, I'd definitely take a look at him.
Yeah, the combine. I just looked it up today, and the combine's actually it's February 23rd. It's not that far off. So
that's my nephew's birthday.
So there you go. Happy birthday to your nephew. But yeah, so we're gonna know pretty soon. Where these guys are gonna rise and fall in the draft. A lot of guys rose because of their combine. I remember Daniel Jones had a great pro day. I don't think it was the combine. I remember he had a fantastic pro day, and I think that's where the Giants got sold on him. So this stuff, these pro days, these combines, it really does influence. Even though in some cases it probably shouldn't, but it really does influence where guys go in the draft. Yeah,
Huge.
Yeah, gigantic.
Put too much stock in it. And the guy I always bring up for that is John Ross.
Yep.
He wasn't great in college, but because he broke the freaking combine record running a 4.22 40, he went 9th overall. That's why Cincinnati's in the position they're in, because they draft guys like John Ross 9th overall because he runs fast.
Yeah, I'll tell you who's going to have a great combine. Isaiah Simmons.
No, I guarantee.
Guy's going to run a 4.3 5.40, I read. That's what they think he's going to do.
Yeah. That's as fast as Kyler Murray runs, man.
It's ridiculous. And I'm playing the linebacker at that speed. And Ryan, thanks for letting me. $5 super chat. Bends the knees. He says, you can trade players on the franchise tag. Actually happened 3 times this season. Oh, good call, Ryan. Great call. I just want to make sure before I said that, but you're absolutely right. Clowney was traded. D. Ford and Frank Clark were all traded. Great call.
And they were all great players.
D. Ford had a great, huge influence for the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, Frank Clark with the Chiefs. All those guys did a great job. And we'll see if that is the case, if that does happen. But thank you for letting me know. I thought so, but I didn't want to say 100% until I 100% knew. But thank you for letting me know, man.
Duran Osmond says, "What if the Skins pick Simmons and Young falls fourth, and you take Chase Young?" No, you definitely take Chase Young.
Is the Pope Catholic? But here's what I'll say about that. Somebody brought that up to me. I don't remember if it was in my Discord or in the chat. There's no way if they did that Chase Young gets past Detroit.
Oh, true.
Did you see that happening? I mean, I can't see it.
No, it's true. I forgot all about that. Yeah, there's no way he can't get past there.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, man. I am interested in Ngakoue. Now, I don't want, like I've said in many of my free agency videos, I don't want the Giants to spend on 3 big free agents like they did in 2016. I'd rather them spread that out.
Yeah, they got to spread it out.
Sign one big guy, then a bunch of 1- and 2-year contracts. That way you give yourself cap space the following year, so on and so forth. Those guys keep falling off. That way when you want to extend to Saquon, when you want to extend to Daniel Jones, you have the money. So I think they got to be diligent.
Well, he said he was going to save $20 million anyway.
Yeah. So I think they got to be diligent with that money. But I would not mind one guy, and Ngakoue might be the guy. He has experience in both the 3-4 and the 4-3. Played 3-4 in college, so could be the guy. I'd be excited if we got Yannick.
Littleton wouldn't be bad either. You get Littleton from the Rams, another guy that really fit our system well.
Littleton would be great.
It's going to be interesting to see what we do. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Steve Misrahi says he likes Pickens from Georgia. Pickens is just a freshman, so Pickens is very good. He's got a bad temper though, man. He's got thrown out of a couple games. Got in a fight in a Georgia Tech game. It was actually pretty funny. He took a guy and slammed him into the wall. It looked like a wrestling match. But Pickens is very talented, but he's just a freshman, so he's got to wait a couple years before he comes out.
There you go. And somebody asked, how many picks do the Giants have? They have, I think they have 10. They got a first, a second. They traded their third, but they have the comp pick for Collins.
Yep.
And then they got a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and 4 sevenths, I think. 3 or 4 sevenths. So
So they got 10 picks. And they did have 11 before they traded away the pick for Leonard Williams.
And they couple some of those sevenths maybe with a fifth or a fourth to try to move into the third round. With that many picks, expect them to try to do something like that. To try to couple some picks and maybe move up into the mid rounds and try to grab a player of their choosing. That certainly could happen.
Yep.
What do you think about Cora stealing CC Sabathia's World Series ring, Starbo? You're gonna have a video on that, you said.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something about that. It's not really so much about Cora; it's more about the Astros. But Cora's gonna get big time suspended. They still haven't given him his penalty yet. But if they got rid of Hinch for a year and they got rid of their GM for a year, Cora's on both of those teams. 17 Astros, 18 Red Sox. Cora may get 3 years.
He got fired, didn't he? He got fired.
Yeah.
Already.
Oh, they all got fired.
Yeah.
But the MLB has not suspended that guy yet. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, if they get fired, you still have to pay their contract. But Hinch and the GM are not getting paid because they're suspended. So they're suspended without pay through 2020.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not surprised.
or it's going to get worse than that because he has been implicated twice.
Yeah, there you go. What's going on, Hobo Steve? Thanks for popping into the stream, man. Altuve still judges MVP. What about taking a running back in the 3rd or 4th round to get depth behind Barkley? I'm not gonna be against them drafting a running back. I don't know if I want to take him in the 3rd, but if you get one in the 4th, maybe the 5th, I wouldn't be against it. We talk about that all the time. I think we do need depth at the running back spot. Wayne Gallman has not proven to be a good running back. He fumbles too much, and they didn't really use him at all this year, Wayne Gallman.
They didn't use him at all. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. They brought in Ron Smith. That didn't work. They brought in Javoris Allen. They never used him. So we'll see what happens.
If there's a back they like, I think it makes sense to try to bring one in 100%, whether, later in the draft.
Our boy Bones is in here. He says 100-year anniversary of the NFL. Repeat of Super Bowl I, Packers Chiefs. Coincidence or fix? I said the same thing about that. I said it could be a repeat of Super Bowl I, which was the Packers and Chiefs. So we'll see what happens.
I think that's what the NFL is rooting for, if I'm being honest. Because that Aaron Rodgers versus Pat Mahomes, that would be, people would be excited for that if it did happen.
Yep.
You disagree with my view on Gallman. That's fine, man. I get it. I'll tell you what, I didn't hate Gallman going into this year. Baddog and me actually liked Gallman going into this year.
I liked Gallman when we drafted him.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good pick. Just turned out to not be a good pick.
Yeah, to me, the Giants haven't shown much confidence in him. He never gets to play. He's had some fumbling problems when he has. If they want to give him a chance, by all means. But Gallman, to me, hasn't shown much, Hasn't shown much. What part of the offseason are you most looking forward to?
Draft.
Always the draft.
Always the draft.
Always the draft. I mean, free agency's fun when you have some cap space, but draft. Definitely the draft.
Yep, definitely draft.
Definitely the draft.
I love watching the combine. I love everything to do with that.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Who's going to take Lawrence next year? Whoever's the first pick that needs a quarterback, Mo Money. That's, there's no way we can know that, but he's going to be the first pick if that team's in need of a quarterback, or a team may just trade up if they don't need a quarterback. So,
right.
We don't know who's going to have that pick.
Should the NFL have a draft lottery? Absolutely not.
It's not like the NBA.
No,
yeah.
the NBA's got that all wrong. Not that they have a draft lottery, but why the hell can't we see the ping pong balls or the bingo balls, whatever? Why can't we see them come out? Why is it secretive?
Yeah.
Why the hell can't we see who's picking? Why can't we see that?
Yeah.
Why is that so secretive? I hate that. No.
I don't think many teams tank in the NFL, if I'm being completely honest.
No, too many jobs are on the line.
Yeah, I think there's too many jobs on the line, and unlike basketball, where one player could make such a huge difference, it certainly helps in the NFL, but it's not the same magnitude. If you could get
because they only play one side of the ball.
Yeah,
you're one of 5 guys in the court, so you're 20% of the team.
Yeah.
Whereas football, you got 53 men on the team. Really, your quarterback is the biggest impact player on your team, but he don't play defense.
And even the quarterback is dependent on other players, the offensive line, the wide receivers, the running back. So
the quarterback can't just take the ball every time down the court and shoot a 3 or drive to the hoop like Jordan did.
Yeah.
So
exactly. What's going on, William? Thank you for popping in the stream. I see we got Times in the house. What's going on? Vay? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. Excited to see Caden Smith's upside if we get rid of Ellison, Ingram, and Smith combo. I think we're going to get rid of Ellison. I think there's 4 guys bad that we're clearly going to cut. Alec Ogletree, Ellison, Kareem Martin, and
Antoine
Bethea. Those are the 4, and that's going to clear about $21 million in space.
Yep. I completely agree. They're all going to be going, and that's why you're cutting 2 linebackers. So you could bring Littleton in here, and you could draft Simmons, and there's your linebackers. You got a back.
Yeah, but that I think is near certainty. I think those 4 players will not be back with the New York Giants. I'd be shocked if they are.
And trade Ingram while you're at it.
I would like to if you get a good piece for him.
3rd rounder. We're not signing him back, so take something for him.
Yeah.
Instead of letting him. You get a comp pick, so. I guess it'd be the same anyway.
I don't know if you get a 3rd, though. They would have to entertain the likes don't add up the view count. How can we fix that? Tank says, I never look at the numbers when I'm live, so I don't know. But I don't know how many likes we got. How many likes we got, Pedro?
179.
How many people we got in here?
525.
That doesn't add up. That doesn't add up.
It's like a third. Now it's going up. I mean, I do this for a living. I do numbers for a living. So I was telling Chris, it's just it's tax season. When taxes come around, I just get very busy. So it's just hard to do videos, to do live streams. I told Christopher the thing. I said there's some days I don't even come home for lunch. I can't even do lunchtime videos. And then I wanted to do the video tonight about Altuve and the Astros, and my wife was using the computer. I'm like, well, now I got to wait till tomorrow. So it's just tough, man. I get tired. I am human.
We're not robots.
I do tired.
We're not robots. And Nick Young, thanks for that, man. $5 super chat, Benz, and he says we could have $80 million total easily after saving $20 million. That leaves us the perfect amount to sign Yannick, Byron Jones, and Conklin. I think right now we have 69.5, at least according to Sport Track. 10 million goes to the draft, so you're at 60. Then the cuts gives you 80. So we'll see after that. We'll see how they decide to spend it.
You put 20 aside.
And
right?
if they're putting 20 aside, like Edelman says, we'll see if he's a man of his word. Maybe it's 10 aside. We'll see. But I don't think, even if they have 80, Nick, according to Edelman, we're not spending all of it.
If they bring in Byron Jones, then they really definitely should consider Chris Richard to come in here as a secondary coach.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If you get Chris Richard, I think he's a slam dunk. I've been very high on Chris Richard during this whole coaching process. I would have brought him in, considered him as the DC. I'm a big Chris Richard guy, seeing what he's done with Seattle, seeing what he's done with Dallas. So, and being that we have a inexperienced secondary. John, thanks for the $2 super chat. He says, Barkley or Sanders, which one leads in rushing? Barkley.
Yeah, it's not close.
Barkley.
I know Eagle fans get all high on Miles Sanders because he has a couple good runs. And, of course, he played in the backfield with Saquon at Penn State. Miles Sanders is not close to Saquon Barkley. It's not close.
Yeah. No, it's Barkley. If Barkley wasn't hurt this year, the guy would have had at least 13, 14, 1,500 yards on the ground.
Easily.
And probably
he had 1,000 yards anyway.
Yeah.
And he missed 4 games, then he played 3 games where he had 1 yard against the Jets.
Yeah, the game we went to, he had 1 yard.
Yeah. He had 1 yard in 5 games.
Yeah.
He still had 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Barkley. It's Barkley. Can you talk about Nate Solder? Yeah, we can talk about Nate Solder. Nate Solder sucks, but he's I think Nate Solder's moving to the right tackle. They're not going to cut him. People have brought that up in the past. $13 million dead cap it. You're only saving $6 million. You're not getting anybody for $6 million. So they're not going to cut him, in my opinion, but I do think he moves to the right side. That's my prediction on Nate Solder. And some people have said, being that he played for the Patriots, maybe the Patriots coach comes over here and fixes him. I don't know. I'm not going to get too. But if they could bring in a Callahan, who's a great offensive line coach, maybe that helps a bit.
If we move to the right side, who's our left tackle? Are we going in the draft, or are we bringing in Conklin?
Conklin, draft. Maybe you draft one in the second round. Maybe if you draft one in the second round, you leave there for him for 1 year on the left side, and then you shift that guy over the following year. But, I would say the draft, if we move them to the right side, or free agency with a Conklin. And King26 Reyes, thanks for the love, man. $5 super chat. He says, draft order. First, Simmons, offensive tackle in the second, edge/offensive tackle. Wait, you're saying Simmons/offensive tackle in the first, and then an edge/offensive tackle in the second. So you're saying you want an offensive tackle and a defensive player that could get after the quarterback in the first 2 rounds, and a wide receiver in the third. Yeah, that would be a late third, being that it's a comp pick. So I would not be against that at all. I think that's a good plan. I'd be for that. King26 Reyes, absolutely. I'm completely for that. And thank you so much, man. Misleading story for love, man. I really appreciate it, man. Would you take the 6th overall and 2 seconds for the 4th?
Yes.
Yes. If you look back at history, the Jets gave up 3 seconds when they jumped from 6 to 3. There's a little bit less of a jump at 6 to 4. Maybe you get a little something with the 2 seconds. Maybe you get 2 seconds in a 4th, something like that. But yeah, I think that's what you're looking at. If you look at history, the Jets gave up 3 seconds to jump from 6 to 3 for a quarterback. I think it's a similar move. So I think you'd get at least 2 seconds.
Yep, no, without a doubt. Can you talk about George Young? Yeah, George Young going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Well deserved. Completely changed the Giants franchise around. And I talked about that before. It's ironic that back in 1979, George Young drafted Phil Simms out of Morehead State with a 7th overall pick, and everybody reacted to that. And it obviously was not televised the way it is now. There's no social media back in 1979. But people ripped George Young for taking Phil Simms, much like we did when we took Daniel Jones. It's just kind of ironic. And although Phil Simms struggled his first 3 years with injuries, he got benched in 83 in favor of Scott Bruner. In 1984, Simms started to come into his own, threw for 4,000 yards, won a Super Bowl 2 years later. And although he wasn't the quarterback when he won in Super Bowl 25, I mean, he'd be worth 12 and I forgot what our record. I think we were 11-2, and ended up losing that game to Buffalo. Ended up being 11-3. That was a game he started, but I mean, obviously we were a great team with Simms, so you never know. And then 2 years later, they took Lawrence Taylor. So maybe a year later we get Isaiah Simmons, and maybe he makes the big difference. Maybe that's what we need. Who knows? But I love Daniel Jones. But George Young did a phenomenal job. He took a Giants team that was disgraceful in the 70s, much like we are right now, and completely changed the franchise around. I forgot when he retired. I think it was 1997, if I'm not mistaken. So between 1984 and 1997, the Giants were one of the best teams in football.
And I'll tell you what, man.
That's the era I grew up in.
Of course, he was pretty good too. Maybe he doesn't get fully credited with it, but of course,
he was great for us.
Yeah, he did a lot of great things for the New York Giants. So they've had a good history of GMs during that stretch, for sure.
We got Jerry Reese.
Yeah, Jerry Reese was pretty good early on, and then we don't need to talk about it. No, and Andy Reid, thanks so much for the love, man. $2 super chat you can forget about. He says, "What about Henry Ruggs, wide receiver from Alabama? He would, if they'd have any chance, would be in the second round." And
he's not getting past Philadelphia.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting to the second.
He's going to Philly. I think that's where that guy ends up. Mm-hmm. Philadelphia.
But I suppose it's possible if they're blown away by a wide receiver in the second round and they think – I'm not saying him specifically, but I suppose it's possible the Giants could take a wide receiver in the second round if they think the guy shouldn't be there. They have him graded in the top 15 players, 20 players. It's possible. Who knows? Jim Kelly, man, thanks for the love, man, there, feller. He says, thoughts on Harold Carmichael getting into the Hall of Fame?
I think I thought on that. They'll put anybody in the Hall of Fame these days. No, I'm just kidding. No, Carmichael was a little before my time. I saw him at the end of his career. So he was a big, he was one of the tallest receivers ever back then. I don't think they had many. I think he was 6'7" or 6'8". He was a tall guy. That was unheard of back in the 70s when he played for the Eagles. So he was really good, but again, I don't know enough about him. I saw him at the end of his career, so I didn't see him in his prime. So I don't know really how good or bad he was.
Yeah, all I know is what I read today, to be honest with you. I don't know much about him either, obviously. That's before my time, but congratulations. And you said that's kind of unheard of. That's kind of unheard of now. How often do you see a 6'7", 6'8"? Burris was, what, 6'5", 6'6"?
6'5", yeah.
He was tall, but it's rare that you even hear about that now. Samardzija, I think, was Samardzija didn't play professionally, but I think he was about 6'6".
6'6", yeah.
Obviously he's a pitcher, but it's rare that you see a receiver over 6'6".
Yeah.
Have a good night, TD. Thanks for being here. And Philly fan, thanks for the love, man. I'm late tuning in. Any word on Garrett? Nothing yet, Ronnie B. There's rumors, but nothing official yet. And Philly fan, thanks for the love, man. He says, that's who I think we are getting, Henry Ruggs the third.
I think that's – and he's another guy that's a 4-3 guy, and they need a burner.
Yeah.
So that's perfect for them. I mean, I think Eagle fans would be very happy with Henry Ruggs. If he, I don't know where they picking 12th. I forgot, or 14th. I forgot where the Eagles.
No, they made the playoffs, so they got to be picking.
Yeah, but they're 9-7. Doesn't it go by your record?
Well, no, I think if you make the playoff, I think they'll probably be the first team they'll probably be picking 17. 12 make it, so they'll probably be picking like 21st, if I had to guess.
Is it that? Wow, I thought they went by record.
I think it goes by playoffs, and then it's by record.
I don't think Henry Ruggs is falling to 21.
Who knows?
Especially if he blows up the combine. He might not get to 21.
Yeah, Chip Kelly says we're picking 21.
Okay.
What's up there at GMET409? The Cowboys, I think, are picking 17, if I'm not mistaken, and the Eagles are picking 21. And the Eagles have not taken a first-round wide receiver in a while. I think they took – it was one guy they took. I can't remember.
Wasn't Aguilar?
Aguilar they took. I think that was 2012, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, has he been around that long? Holy cow.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah, but they certainly could use a wide receiver, the Eagles, which is funny because Pro Football Focus said they were the number one wide receiver core in football going into the year, but now they're taking a wide receiver in the first round.
Well, they don't have a lot of money. They're in cap hell. They don't want to. Eagle fans don't want to believe that, but they are in trouble with the cap, man. You cannot backload contracts the way they did, and just all that does is make the players older with bigger dead cap hits. And you can't just move guys. What's Fletcher Cox, a $30 million cap hit? You can't just dump that guy. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
The older guys, Brandon Graham is a big cap hit. Carson Wentz, forget about it. And then you got to start worrying about it. I know Eagle fans had a we're mad about Jadeveon Clowney hitting him in the head. I think that could have been avoided. I don't think that was dirty by any means. I don't think it was intentional. I think he could have lifted his head up maybe. I don't know. I mean, I watched it over and over again. I'm like, I really don't know. I don't think he intentionally.
So, yeah, I don't think it was intentional.
But he's always injured. There's always something wrong with him. And they just gave that guy $128 million for the next 4 years. That begins next year. He was still on his rookie contract. Now he's going to get paid. So
it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Eagles.
And they're one of the oldest teams in the league next year.
I think they might have one more year, if I'm being completely fair and honest. If things break right, they stay healthy.
Yeah, it's because our division sucks.
Yeah, I think they could have one more year where they got a shot, but I think it's going to catch up to them. I think they're going to have to pay the piper sooner or later with all these really high-priced guys that are getting up there in age. And I think that's when the Giants will pounce. I do think that the Eagles are going to drop dramatically, maybe in 2 years, but it's going to happen. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Forget about it. What's going on there? Christian Orr's in the chat. What's going on, Christian Orr? What's up, Carl Hargrove? Vance Billow in the chat.
Yeah.
Cookies and chocolate cake and donuts and muffins, Andy Reid says.
Very nice. Nate Solder. Why do I keep seeing Nate Solder?
Yeah, why are we talking about Nate Solder? Schlick Smith says, hey, guys, hope all is well. My homie just won a Gold Rush box with a signed Saquon jersey, and wow, that's awesome, man! Congratulations, buddy. And Melvin Martinez, thank you very much, man. And we need a good backup. We can't expect Daniel to play. I agree. I'm not saying we. I want to make sure I get his name right. Vol X Hall. I don't. First of all, I don't think Eli's coming back.
No, he's not going to.
That's not going to happen. But I do agree that we could use a good backup. I don't know if I want to draft that backup because we need as many picks as we could get. But if you could get, Fitzpatrick's still on. He's on one more year with the Dolphins. But I'm gonna look into that. When I did, I looked at the list. There was a couple of veteran guys that maybe they could bring him. I forgot who it was.
If Patrick is there for one more year, they're going to carry 3 quarterbacks because they're obviously drafting a quarterback. But maybe he's there because Tua's not going to be ready.
Yeah,
Tua sits, and then they do something with Rosen.
They could trade Rosen.
Maybe Rosen.
Patriots
would be a good team for him to go
Colts?
to. I wasn't even thinking the Colts. I'm thinking maybe the Raiders.
Yeah. You'd probably get him for like a 3rd-round pick now, a 4th-round pick maybe. But Fitzpatrick's got one more year, but he has said that he's contemplating retiring. So we'll see. But I don't think. Unfortunately, I would love Fitzpatrick. I think he's a perfect backup.
John Letourneau says, bad though in the entertain. I predict Wentz and Jones in an NFC title game. Your thoughts, Chris? Would that make a game nervous? I told John that. He asked me that the other day. I said I couldn't handle an NFC championship game between the Eagles and the Giants.
Oh God, that would be nerve-wracking. That'd be nerve-wracking.
I could not. I would literally lose my shit. With them and the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl to beat. Nah, I couldn't. I don't know if I can make it through that one.
That would be tough. And Christian Cullen, thanks for love, man. $5 Super Chat Benzanese. He says, OBJ handing out stacks. Hopefully he'll give some to the Giants players when they win the Super Bowl. That'd be nice, Christian Cullen. That'd be nice, bad though.
It's the least he could do for us.
He's at MetLife Stadium giving everybody thousands of dollars.
I mean, we gave him all the money, so I mean, why not?
Yeah. But I gotta think that the players he was giving that money to, they could get in trouble. They might get in trouble for that.
They can definitely get in trouble for that. You can't accept that when you're a college player. You can't accept anything. You can't accept a freaking sandwich.
Yeah.
They have a damn fit about that.
Yeah, so. I gotta think they get in trouble for that. And what's going on there? Yeah, that would actually be legal, Afghanistan says. Great subscriber of ours. Thank you for being here.
Yes, it is.
What's up, bro? Wisconsin? Thanks for being here. Rake1 says, it's against the NCAA rules. Marcus Mariota is a backup. He would be a great backup, but I think he's going to cost a little too much of our cap for me. If I'm spending on a backup, I want between $3 and $5 million. I think Mariota's going to command more than that. So that's why I don't know if he's the right option. And Misleading Story, thanks for the love, man. He says we need to address cornerback at some point this offseason. They could, like we've been saying, they could take Byron Jones in free agency. That could be a target of theirs.
I gotta. I don't know. Again, I don't know his contract. What about Case Keenum? Where's his contract at with Washington? Is he? I mean, that wouldn't be a bad guy either. I know they got Alex Smith, all that money. They drafted Dwayne Haskins. What are they going to do with Case Keenum? So,
I don't know Keenum's situation there. If I'm being honest, I don't know.
That might not be a bad guy to take a look at.
That's what we want to look at, though. Got veteran guys that aren't going to threaten Daniel Jones, but a guy that's good enough to step in if Daniel Jones does go down and get you by for a couple weeks, or and to teach Daniel Jones.
So I forgot exactly what website I was reading this on. They were talking about like 5 free agents the Giants should go after, and Littleton was one, Ngakoue was one. There was a couple others, and I forget who they were. But the 5th guy that they had was Tom Brady. That was the guy that they had as the 5th guy. And as they said, it's a long shot. Obviously, he's not going to come to the Giants, but they're like, hear me out, and all this stuff that they're talking about how Tom Brady could win with the Giants now. And I'm thinking to myself, no, he couldn't. I mean, what? How could Tom Brady come over here and make it away? It was just funny to hear that.
I'm getting sick and tired of hearing quarterbacks, man. We have a quarterback.
I know. It's like nobody's sold on Daniel Jones. I don't understand why.
You got to give the guy a chance. Even if you're not sold him, you got to give him at least 2 more years. You got to see what the kid's got. And he showed enough that he definitely deserves a chance for 2 more years after his rookie year, in my opinion. So that's Tom Brady. Come on. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. They were thinking outside the box with that one.
Yeah, and what's going on, Dire Giants fan? Thanks for popping in the stream. No, we did not hire the Clapper yet, and that's starting to make me think that maybe we won't, because you would think if they were gonna hire him, they would have hired him already. But we'll see. We'll see. It could, like I said, the Baddog. Maybe it's a guy that's still in the playoffs that they don't want to, that they still want to bring in, like a Bieniemy, or who knows. And BB13, what's going on?
Did they
BB?
interview Bieniemy already
As a head coach.
Right, so they wouldn't have to do anything, and they just kind of wait and they can't hire.
Right, they probably don't want to hire him while he's still in the playoffs.
Gotcha.
It's just a thought I had. Callahan, I think everybody wants. Callahan is known to be one of the best offensive line coaches in football.
We could use him.
Could definitely use him. We've been our offensive line coach has been horrible in recent years. Let's see, we got. Oh, what do we say about Graham, Joe Miller? It's kind of like a wait and see approach. I think Graham. I completely understand the hire, like I've said many times. I think he's a perfect fit for what Joe Judge has said. His whole defensive philosophy is 3-4, 4-3, 4-6. He wants to change it up. He wants to show you different looks. So I completely understand the hire. Am I going to tell you it's a great hire? No, I don't know yet. Last year the Dolphins' defense wasn't good. I had Doug Lee Durong, who's a great YouTuber on the channel, and I thought it was a fantastic interview. If you guys haven't checked it out, really informative Dolphin fan, told us a lot about Patrick Graham's defensive scheme. But he basically said the Dolphins' defense did get a lot better over the course of the season. So
I didn't see it get better.
Yeah.
I didn't see it get better. Like I said, they gave up almost 100 points over the last 3 games.
They gave up 150 in the first 3. But
they gave up 59 in the first one you better get better than 59 points. So, again, it's not like they played anybody. I mean, they gave up 36 to us.
Yeah. No, the defense wasn't good, but they had no talent. They had zero talent.
Right. I agree. I mean, it's
a wait and see. You got to hope that.
Yeah, it's just an interesting hire. Like I said, I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying I don't want. I'm not saying this was terrible and we should have never. I just was very surprised by it.
Yeah.
Kind of like I was with Joe Judge. Just you get blindsided by some things. And like I said, the Giants are doing something completely different. It may work, it may not. But I like that they're doing things differently because the definition of insanity: do the same thing over and over and expect.
You say that all the time. Yeah, you say that all the time.
It's good to see them thinking outside the box. But I would like an experienced guy for offense coordinator, without a doubt.
Yeah. So. And what's up, King Envy? Hope Ben's doing well. And Dark Demonic's in the house as well. Andy Reid with the $2 super chat. You can forget about it. He says, Daniel Jones will be the man. And that's coming from Andy Reid.
He already is the man.
He is the man. Not will be. He is the man. He's a Giant.
He is the man.
And Damian Williams, thank you so much for the love, man. $2 super chat. He says, people around the sports still don't respect DJ. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who kind of thought like Baddog and I did on draft night. And then they just aren't willing to change their opinion because they don't want to. They don't want to admit they were wrong.
Just another one that blindsided us and said, "Oh, that one worked out." So
yeah.
Hopefully these coaching hires work out too.
And Q Dog, man, what's up, Q Dog, man? It was a pleasure getting to talk to him the other day on the call-in show. Phenomenal subscribe. And I always give him the credit. He deserves it. The first guy on the Daniel Jones hype train.
Oh, God Almighty, yes.
I think he was on Daniel Jones since 2017.
Oh.
He was on Daniel Jones since elementary school.
All my videos about it. Q-Dog said, Baddog, I understand, but you're going to come around. You're going to love it. Baddog, you are going to love Daniel Jones. And it was like less than a week. I was like, Q-Dog, you're right. I went back and I watched a film on him. I love him.
Yeah.
I love him.
Kudos
I was
to
one of
man.
the first guys to have a Daniel Jones jersey, thanks to one giant rebuttal, mind you. And I wore that thing with pride. And that was my guy. Especially, I rooted for him so hard. I wanted to be wrong. I watched the reaction. I go, good. I'm glad that I was wrong about that.
Yeah.
But I wanted him to succeed because I wanted everybody else to be wrong too.
Of course.
And he's our quarterback, so of course I want the guy to succeed.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Of course. And I want to shout out Dire Giants fan for my Daniel Jones jersey as well. Was kind enough to hand me that at the Giants game. And Q-Dog says, "What's up, my Italian stallions?"
Yeah.
What's up there, Q-Dog?
We painted a couple houses today.
Yeah, a couple houses. I don't know if you saw my video today, Q-Dog. I painted a couple houses today.
Yeah, Chris had to take care of that thing for me down there. I can't always get down there to the island, so
I had a couple guys in the trunk. Don't
it's
worry.
like if Chris needs to reach someone upstate, he calls me up, and I paint a house.
Two vids Baddog needs to put up: Eli Apple draft vid and Mike Mosh vid. I love those two vids, Mr. Cruz says.
I have the Eli Apple vid on my other channel. I don't have that Mosh video though. I had it for a while, and Geomon sent me all the old videos. He has old videos from me back in 08 and 09. And for whatever reason, it wouldn't upload anymore. But that Eli Apple is on. I do have that Eli Apple video on my backup channel. Which, God, what is that? I forget. I think it's Baddog 7676 NWO. But there are definitely there's some trash talking videos on there. Me ripping other video makers. You want to watch me talk trash from back in my day when I made fun of people? And
I'll have to take a look at that channel. I don't think I've seen it.
Oh yeah. Oh God, you haven't seen the Eli Apple video?
No, I've seen some of your older videos, but I don't think I've watched the channel. Jets Talk 24.
There's the channel right there. We can check that out.
There you go. Jets Talk 24/7's announced. I want to give him a quick shout out. He's got a channel. He says, as a Jets fan, I really wanted the Giants to regret passing on Sam Darnold, but I think Daniel Jones is the truth. I'm certainly happy with Sam, but the Giants fans should be happy with DJ. And at the end of the day, Jets, I agree with you. I've never been a guy to bash. I know Baddog don't like Darnold, but I've never been a guy to bash Darnold. I think Darnold could be good, and I think both teams it could work out. I think Daniel Jones could very well be the guy, and I think Darnold, if you guys fix your offensive line, could be the guy. I agree with you, man, and I appreciate that, Vax, man. He says great stream as usual, fellas. Jason Young with the $2 super chat. He says Francesa still hates Jones and loves Darnold.
That's because Francesa is one of those guys, and I listen. A lot of people hate Francesa. I love Francesa. His ego is part of his charm, and his demeanor and his attitude is part of his charm. It's what he does. But that guy will never, ever admit he's wrong. Ever. You'll never hear those words come out of his mouth. And Mike Francesa will say something, and then 3 months later he'll say something completely different. Say, I never said that. Yeah. And then you go back and you watch it, and he says the exact thing.
Yeah.
And he mushes everybody.
Yeah.
He's tank mush. Hashtag tank. There was a guy on YouTube. His channel is RN Funhouse. Oh my God, he was brilliant with the Francesa videos. Yeah, I used to watch him religiously when I used to own part of the card shop, and I go in there. I would just listen to those videos and laugh my ass off at all.
Is that the cartoon one?
RN Funhouse?
Well, there's one Mike Francesa channel where it's like a cartoon and it's.
No, these are just clips that he put
okay.
of him saying. I never said that. I never said they'll be like I don't know. Daniel Jones is going to fail as a quarterback, and then he has a. Well, I always thought Daniel Jones was going to be good. Actually, I think he did say that. I knew Daniel Jones was going to be good. I knew I was on the board, and they'll go back and say Daniel Jones sucks. so that's Francesa.
It is. You're right. He never admits that he's wrong. Let's see what we got. Can you all talk about the possibility of a major free agent signing? Also, do we take corner late in the draft? I think we're open to taking anything late in the draft. I think we're going, depending on what we do earlier in the draft, but it's possible. And major free agent signing. I mean, we say it every week. Ngakoue,
Byron Jones,
Conklin,
Littleton,
those are the guys that we're going. I just don't expect us to sign multiple big free agent signings. I think it'll be one if we go with a big guy, and then a bunch of shorter contracts, 2 years, 1 year, stuff like that.
I also think when we get later in the draft, I think the Giants at that point will take best available. I think that's what they'll do at that point, whoever that is. When you get into those rounds, I think that's what you're doing. I don't think you're looking for positions the 6th, 7th round. I think you're just taking best available. You hope they work out. Like Darius Slayton ended up working out really well for us.
Yeah.
Darius
Slayton was great.
Yeah. So
yeah. And Q-Dog, man, thanks for the love, man. I'll tell you what, I agree. I think Baddog agrees. $2 super chat, you can forget about it. It says, aren't we all glad OBJ isn't here anymore? I'm on board with you, Q-Dog. I've been on board with you.
Q-Dog, I wanted him out of here 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think Giants fans, you don't hear nothing about Landon Collins anymore. There's another guy that I just could not wait to get rid of. And the dude did nothing in Washington. Nothing.
There's always going to be some fans that will not give in and they will not admit that it was a good idea to trade Beckham. There's always going to be those fans.
As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that Caden Smith scored the game-winning touchdown on Landon Collins in overtime.
Yes, he did.
He did.
Yes, he did.
So that's years to come. Just watching tight ends rip Landon Collins apart in the NFC East.
What's up, Sentinel? Thanks for popping in. Marjorie's in the chat, too. Sentinel says, go Mets anyway. Yeah, definitely go Mets anyway. Let's see what we got. I'm going to be posting a video on the Mets earlier today. I was busy today. That's why I didn't have it, but I will have a video on that tomorrow.
Yeah, like I said, Chris had to paint some houses for me. That's why he was dressed in a tee.
Yeah.
He had to do a thing for me. That's right. I repaid a favor. This is how we do it, but
I didn't want to rush the video because I feel like it is an important video. I wanted to make sure I get all the details and everything else before I make a video on it, but it will be up tomorrow. What's up, Freddie Billups? He says, you guys got so excited about Isaiah Simmons that you forgot how many times Danny Dimes got hit from the blind side. We need Andrew Thomas. Freddie, I wouldn't be against Andrew Thomas at all.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I'm completely with you on that. I'd be completely fine with taking Andrew Thomas.
That's why, and again, Andrew Thomas is just a guy that I thought of, but that's why I made that video because, it's just such a good question. Do you take the athletic linebacker? God knows tight ends have destroyed this team. Isaiah Simmons would definitely help out in that facet of our defense, without a doubt, and he can line up all over the field. He can create havoc from anywhere. And then, you want a solid left tackle for years to come to protect your young stud quarterback that you took 6th overall. So it's a great question. We need both positions in the worst way. And I certainly would not be upset if they took Willis, if they took Wirfs, if they took Andrew Thomas. It's not going to hurt my feelings to take a left tackle. It may not be the sexiest pick, but at the end of the day, man, your offensive line wins a lot of games for you, even though the stats, they don't have any stats. But those, they end up winning a lot of games for you.
And if the guy's
good offensive line to keep your defense off the field.
If the guy's good, he's gonna be your tackle for 15 years, and
right.
that is so important. He's literally gonna be Jones's protection for 15 years. Right. That is beyond valuable.
Right. Look at what Ogden did for the Ravens.
Yeah.
You know.
So Andy Reid, thank you so much for the love, man. He says Slayton is my dog. Well, listen, man, Andy Reid, I love Slayton. Great pick, man, and thank you for the love, Andy Reid. I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the donuts.
He's going to enjoy him a lot on Sunday.
I wasn't impressed when I watched tape on Andrew Thomas. A lot of people say that, Vince. A lot of people say the footwork. I mean, the results are there. The guy didn't give up a hit.
He didn't give up a quarterback hit
in the SEC. We're not talking.
Not Big 12.
Yeah.
SEC.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. There's another guy, by the way, that Kenneth Murray in the 2nd round for the Giants. They want to go left tackle in the 1st round and get Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma in the 2nd round. I'm all for that too, because Kenneth Murray is one of the best freaking run defensive linebackers in the country. That guy is so aggressive against the run, man. I'm biased. I'm a Sooner guy. I love Kenneth Murray. Watching Kenneth Murray play gets me pumped up. No Oklahoma Sooner defender gets me pumped up ever because their defense sucks. But that guy watching him play, I would get fired up because he's all over the field.
Yeah.
He's a football player.
A lot of people like him. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people ask me if the Giants could trade back up into the 1st to get him. The Mook Man with a $5 super chat. Benzini says, LMFAO, that rant on Eli Apple, that was you, Bad Dog. That was the first video I watched after the pick, looking for someone to cheer me up.
You saw that when I originally did it, Mook Man?
That's awesome.
It was 2016. Yeah, I was pissed. Like I said, people think the reaction to Daniel Jones was bad. That was the day after we drafted Eli Apple. That night, my reaction to that was way worse than Daniel Jones. I could not sleep. I was so mad. I was so pissed that we missed on both Conklin and Leonard Floyd, and that they did that. I couldn't sleep. Daniel Jones, it made me mad when it happened, and then I was just kind of like depressed. I'm like, man, I can't believe they did that. I was in disbelief, and I slept fine. But that Eli Apple, oh my God, that made me so mad.
They panicked. We say that all the time. They panicked on that pick. They didn't. They thought one of those guys would be there, and they weren't. And they said, "Oh God, what do we do now?" And yeah. And Peter, thanks so much for the man $2 super chat. You can't forget about it. He says, "Draft Simmons, sign Conklin. It's not rocket science. If they do that, Peter, I'm on board, man."
Yeah, they ain't gonna bother me either.
Yeah, the only thing I worry about with Conklin is the ACLs injuries he's had. But if he's good to go, and a lot of people have told me that it takes 2 years to fully recover from an ACL. If he's good to go, I'm all for it, man. And you see what Tennessee's doing. Conklin must be doing something right over there. So
yeah, they got the best. Listen, that Titans team, that's 2011 Giants, man.
I love
team
watching
is
it,
the
man.
2011 Giants. And I said this to my buddy at work. Well, I was talking to DWG actually today because he asked me about that. I said, number one, the Titans are 7.5-point underdogs. Give me the points.
I agree with you.
But he said, do you think they can win? I said, gun to my head, I would probably take Kansas City. But if there's a team that can combat that offense, it's the Titans for the simple fact that they have those root canal 7-minute, 8-minute drives that wear down the defense and keep Mahomes off
That's
the field.
the key to the game.
And their defense is solid too. They are, to me, the closest thing to the 2011 Giants I've seen since that. They're getting hot at the right time, and they have the formula in the playoffs. Tough defense, solid running game. And Derrick Henry, they lean on people. And you see those defenses wear out. They just ran right over the Patriots.
I'll tell you what, man.
And then they destroyed the Ravens.
That's going to be a really interesting game because no lead is safe against the Chiefs. I agree with that.
Only Bill O'Brien can blow a 24-point
in the first quarter, he blew the 20. He blew it by halftime.
What are you doing? You're up 24-7.
No, 24-0. 24-0. They were up.
I think it was 24-7
when they did the fake punt. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
4th and 4 from your own 25. Let's run a fake punt. That's brilliant.
But one thing I will say, Tennessee, I don't think they're giving up a big lead because of the ability to run the football.
Yeah.
I don't think Houston has that same ability, and if they could get out to a double-digit lead, I think they're going to sit on it.
Oh God, yeah, they shortened the game. The Giants did all those Super Bowls, man. That's what they did. They just stay running and defense, man. It's tough.
That'll be a really fun game to watch. I'm really looking forward to it because they're completely different styles. One's an air it out offense, the other's a ground and pound, and we're going to see which one plays out. And Jeremy, man, thanks for that, man. I really appreciate that. Jeremy Brantley with a $2 super chat. He says, "What's up, fellas? Been a while, man. Thanks for popping in, buddy. I appreciate the love, man. Thank you very much, my man."
Jeremy, how's your boy doing? I know Jeremy had I believe it was a son back in September, August. He and my boy Duke Bothers had each had children very close to one another. So
that's awesome.
Football as well. I think it was September. I could be wrong. Who knows? My mind. I have a hard time remembering Monday. So.
And the Mook man, thanks for the love, man. $5 super chat. He says, "Yeah, I saw that video, but I didn't know it was you.
It's filtered.
You didn't show that baby face back then."
It's filtered. That's why.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, I filtered it. I had a filter on.
And Mook man, thanks for love, man. And Sabrina's in the house. She says, "I am not a fan of whoever scores last wins game. I am also not a fan of the whoever scores last wins games." You mean like a shootout game, Sabrina? Is that what you're talking about? I'm with you.
I don't like them either. I like the way the Texans play. That's just me. I'm old school smash mouth football.
Titans, yeah.
Or Titans.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Taylor 24. I've seen him ask this a few times. Is that Baddog? Can we make a deal with the Bengals where they take Chase Young and then we take Joe Burrow, then trade? It would never happen because Joe Burrow wouldn't make it to us.
Yeah,
I think somebody else would jump. They'd give up a fortune to Washington to get up and get Joe Burrow. There's no way Joe Burrow makes it to 4.
They're not going to gamble. Bengals ain't going to gamble. They're taking him.
No, they can't. They could never do that.
Yeah, they're taking him. I don't see it. I definitely don't see it.
Anna Keene says any video is a painting house. No, you don't ever. No proof of that.
And what's up, Sedan Smith? Thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate it.
You don't ever put painting houses on the books.
Why would we want Joe? Well, no, he's saying for a trade, Chisolo. He's saying hypothetically, say they had a pre-draft agreement. Look, you got the Redskins. They got Dwayne Haskins. They're not taking a quarterback. The Lions, we don't think they're taking a quarterback. They got Stafford. Let's agree right now. We'll take Chase Young for you. You give us Joe Burrow, and then we get some draft picks. But
Joe Burrow, if that happened, Joe Burrow could definitely end up being a Lion for real.
They would. I think they would take him.
Yeah,
I think they would take him and look to trade Matt Stafford.
I actually think the Redskins would say, "To hell with you, Haskins." Would take Joe Burrow.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. It will not happen. It will not happen. Painting houses. The Irishman's great, Michael. Great. Should the NFL change the playoff format to best 12 teams make it to the postseason? Oh, you're saying rather than division winners? I don't think so. I like, and I agree that one thing they should change. I think that the division winners should all get in, but I think Baddog and myself talked about this. If you're like an 8-8 team, you shouldn't get home field advantage.
Exactly. You should have to play on the road.
Yeah, I think home field advantage should be.
Should get home field advantage.
Yeah. Regardless of whatever. If an 11-5 team is playing an 8-8, I don't care you won the division. That 11-5 team should have the home game. But I do still think division winners should get in.
Yes, completely agree with you.
Yeah, because it kind of takes away the division race, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There'd be no point in having divisions if you did that.
Yeah. And Rick, so thanks for the love, man. I appreciate that. $2 super chat. You can't forget about it. Great subscriber, both of ours. He says Austin Jackson and Josh Jones are underrated left tackles. I've seen Austin Jackson, and I haven't watched film on him yet. But so many of my subscribers, I've seen so many Giants mock drafts of the Giants taking Austin Jackson in the second round. A lot of Giants fans are on board with him taking him in the second round. A lot of people like him, Rickson. And thanks for letting me. I appreciate that. Chase Simmons, Thomas at 4. Chase Simmons, Tom. Yeah, we're gonna get one of those guys more than likely, unless we trade down Barbecue Pat, for sure.
Yeah.
What's going on, Tim Mathis? Thanks for being here, buddy. And thank you to everybody for being here, by the way. Snakes is in the house as well. If you guys haven't done so, spike that like, join the channel, but most importantly, go into that description and subscribe to Baddog. We'll be on his channel next week, and we'll be obviously talking more about probably free agency in the draft as it approaches.
Yeah, we'll have an offensive coordinator by then, maybe. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll more than likely have an OC. Not a huge, news day the last couple of days, but I'm sure there will be stuff that comes up. Jeremy says, hey, Chris and Dog. Simmons at 4 if Detroit doesn't take him. LSU's Jefferson in the 2nd. Highsmith in the 3rd. Antonio, I'll tell you, another guy that all Giants fans like, including the son of a bitch, is Antonio Gandy Golden. Everybody tells me about him, the wide receiver. I think he's tall. I think he's like 6'4". But a lot of people are in on him as a late 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick as well.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I don't know if Justin Jefferson drops to the 2nd round either. The wide receiver class is very deep. That's why when I see these mock drafts that have the Giants taking Jerry Jeudy at 4, it just makes no sense. There's no way the Giants are spending the 4th overall pick on a wide receiver. I can't see that happening under any circumstances because of just the amount of – I like T. Higgins. I think that's a guy the Giants could get, like I said, a 2nd round. I like him a lot. I'm pretty sure he's 6'4". He's another tall kid, and I like T. Higgins a lot. I think he's really underrated. I think a lot of people just overlook him, but I really like T. Higgins a lot. Normally, Chris, I always say, give me the Oklahoma Sooners offense and the Clemson defense. So this time, you can give me a Clemson wide receiver. And, I'd
there you go. There you go.
We went backwards because I'd also take Kenneth Murray, which is a defender for Oklahoma. We went backwards.
What's up, Nighthawk? Thanks for popping in, man. Should we get rid of Sterling Shepard? No, because you're not going to get it near what you would want for him based on his injury history, in my opinion. I don't think you're going to get much for him, right?
We'd probably get hit with a big cap hit, too. We just signed him.
I think he means a trade. I don't think he means cut. And thank you very much, Danny, man. Thanks so much for the love,
right,
man.
But you still get hit with the cap. We got hit with Odell Beckham.
Right. For one, yeah. Good point. Nick Young says, if we hire Jason Garrett, does it increase the likelihood we sign Amari Cooper? I don't think the Cowboys let Cooper go. I think Cooper's back with the Cowboys. I could be wrong, but I'd be shocked if he is not.
Yeah. Looks like I have a beard in the Eli Apple video. No, I didn't. Probably just had a 5 o'clock shadow.
Sign Yannick, draft Simmons. Yeah, a lot of Baddog was talking about that earlier.
I love that.
Yeah. What do you think of Evan Ingram? We've talked about him a lot, Gavin, in the past. Guy can't block. He's a threat when he's healthy. Based on his athletic ability, he's definitely a mismatch. But if you get something for him that's suitable, an early 3rd round pick, late 2nd round pick, I would trade him based on his injury history. And Baddog agrees with me on that. I think so. I would trade him for the right price.
I agree with Marjorie. She says, I hate those mock drafts with the Giants picking wide receiver at 4. They don't watch the Giants and think we need someone to replace Odell. Drives you nuts. Our wide receivers did just fine. Daniel Jones threw 24 touchdowns in 12 games with the receivers he had, and most of them were injured. Golden Tate missed 4 games for suspension. Sterling Shepard missed, 4 or 5 games with the concussions. Darius Slayton missed a couple games with the hamstring. Corey Coleman tore his damn ACL before the year even started. So we don't need that receiver. I mean, it would definitely help Barkley because it opens things up. But again, you can get them later in the draft. Number 4, we need an impact player. And I don't think a wide receiver is impactful enough. The Giants are more than a wide receiver away from winning the Super Bowl. So you gotta start building in the trenches.
Yeah, you gotta get those foundation pieces before you start worrying about the first round wide receivers. You gotta try to get value wide receivers, but we need the foundation, man. We need to improve the pass rush and the offensive line. That's much more important than a wide receiver.
Yeah,
the wide receivers we have, we can get by with. Yep. Did you guys know the Dolphins are still paying Ryan Tannehill this year? I did actually know that, Raymond Soso. I only knew that because Doug Lee Durong told me about it when I had him on the channel, and I was surprised. I was like, wow. I was like, yeah. Need to sign I love Dalvin Tomlinson, Eric. I say it every week, every stream. He was my favorite player in the defense this year, most consistent player in the Giants defense.
He was, and I think Leonard Williams made him even better.
Yeah. And
Giants. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. He saw it too. Okay.
Oh no. Thanks for tuning in, Dyer. Thank you for being a great supporter of both of us, Dyer. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. As I was saying, we were going to say the same thing because I saw Dyer Giants fan was leaving.
Yeah.
So.
But he's the man. Thank you for being here, buddy. And it is 12:01. We're going to wrap this up in like 2 minutes. But again, I want to say thank you to everybody for coming in, talking Giants. Not a lot on the agenda right now. There wasn't any big news the last couple of days, but appreciate all you guys for tuning in. We're going to be doing the same show next week. By that point, I think we should have the whole coaching staff probably. We should know our OC. We should know our linebackers coach. Should know the secondary coach. We should have a lot of answers. But we're gonna have to wait and see how it all plays out. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to all you guys, man. Chris Hook, yes, Nick, you definitely deserve a wrench. I think I told you that last time. Absolutely need a wrench. Hold on.
Who said I look shot? Rolly Lewis said I look shot. I'm tired, man. I told you, I'm human. I wear out. As I told Chris before the stream started, man, I'm up late. I've been working crazy. And then, I'm trying to, spring's coming, so I'm trimming down like I was before I started streaming on YouTube. I started having all them damn rolled gold pretzels on my couch over there that I eat bags of those and gained a little too much weight. So now I'm on a 13 to 1,600 calorie diet a day, and I'm in the gym 2 hours a day. So
he's a lunatic.
It wears on you a little bit. It catches up with you now and again.
He's a lunatic, man. He's a lunatic. We're not robots.
No, we're not.
But we appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys for all your love, all your support, always tuning into the show, always watching our videos. We appreciate it. We're going to continue to put in a lot of work in the offseason. And yeah, I can't say thank you enough. We always say it every week. You guys are the best. You guys stick with us through great times and bad. Well, we haven't had great times since I've been on YouTube, but
yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
since I came back in 2014, and nope.
Yeah,
first run on YouTube, great for the Giants. Yeah. Second one, nah. Not so much.
You guys stick with us though through the bad times, and it's gonna get good soon. We promise you guys. So thank you guys for being here, and if you haven't done so, one more time, go into that description and subscribe to Bad Dog Sports. We'll be on his channel next week doing the same show. Andy Reid, thanks for love, man. $2 super chat. You can't forget about Rudy T. What's up, man? And he says Cooper will be a Patriot. I don't think so, but we're gonna have to wait and see. I think he goes back with the Cowboys. But we'll see. Anything's possible. But of course, I'm gonna let Bad Dog close it out. I want to say thank you to Bad Dog for coming on. Always love doing the show. And I always like to let Bad Dog close it out.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, and we say it every single week. You guys and girls, words don't do it justice. How much we appreciate your support on everything we do. It's just amazing to watch both of our channels grow, to watch this show grow with just such a horrible team. She tells you how many loyal, great Giants fans we have out there. And like I say, we say it every week. I just can't wait for us to be good again. I can't wait till we're winning the division, till we're in the playoffs, till we're really excited about what we're doing on the field. We have to sit here and worry about the draft in the end of October and start talking about who we want to draft or who we're going to get as a new head coach because our head coach can't last more than 2 years. I can't wait for the good times to come back to the Giants. It's going to happen. And this is only going to get better.
And we'll be here when it is. And I don't know if he's still here. I saw him ask this question a few times, and I meant to get to him. Great subscriber of mine. Lamel Sinclair asked, is it true that you need to spend a certain amount of money on the cap? It is true. I'm not sure the exact percentage amount, but yes, it is true.
It's 89%. I've seen that a few times.
89%. Okay, so
yep.
so there you go. You have to spend 89% of it. So
So
89%.
how the hell could we save $20 million?
Well, the cap is gonna be around 200 million because it goes up by about 10. I think it was 190 this year. So if it's 200,
you have to spend. Never mind. I'm thinking you have to spend.
yeah, 20 million is about what you could leave over.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because that's about 10%. So
thanks, Cushmaster.
That would be it.
He says I'm thinking about subbing to Baddog. I appreciate that, Cushmaster.
But that would be it. Yeah. So there's your answer. I meant to answer that earlier, Mel Sinclair. But thank you guys, everybody, for being here. I really do appreciate it. And Baddog, close it out, my man. Close it out.
So all you guys have a great rest of your night or morning, wherever you guys are. If you're over there in the UK and it's about 5:06 in the morning. Thank you so much for joining us. For the entertainer, actually, I'm on this side today, right? For the entertainer, it is the Bad Diggity Dizzle, and we are gone. Peace!